We are onto something here. We're copywriting this. Definitely that one probably was one of the harder ones to shoot, especially because we keep most of our dancers through all 3 films, so the dancers are quite like castmates, and they put all of our dancers in real nightwear. So it's really heavy, and they're dancing like crazy and sword fighting. Between takes, you would just see all of your friends from the last 6 years like take off their helmets and be like, like rushing fans in and bottles of water and stuff. So funny. They're major troopers for pulling that off. Super impressive. But yeah, it's quite chaotic. It's quite like, there's a lot of room for things to go wrong. The swords are obviously fake. They're not real swords. But there's a lot of dropping of the swords and trying to like pass it to each other midair. Lots of room for disaster. There are all of these like particular like positions that anybody who has learned sword fighting basics, I guess, learns. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I'm totally gonna get it wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so there's but you have to like look like you can really sword fight rather than just be like, you know, with like a really lightweight sword. We train for like a month and a half beforehand, along with dancing training and recording and fittings and things like that. I don't know if there's one particular one. The thing is, it's like we're so close, we're so familial, and it really is quite like an intimate relationship that we all have. Every time we're together is really special, and we turn into kids when we're together. I would say the 4 of us and Kenny, we're the closest. Kenny likes to tell us that we need to do another take when we've actually got the shot, and then like have people come into it, or like have somebody say the wrong line, or like, you know, things like that. He likes to get it all on camera, which is how I know you have it. I mean, that one was fun, but it took us ages. That one took us like 3 days to shoot. By the end of it, we were like, no more of this. I think it was the first thing we shot, and we were really like, Kenny, we can't do this anymore. Obviously, the opening was really fun to shoot. Like, Good to Be Bad coming out of the tunnel is so fun, because you feel like you're in like some weird Michael Jackson, like, you know, dancing all together in unity. Like, you're like in like this Michael Jackson meets like Sharks and Jets kind of moment. Hands down, Harry Hook. Hands down, and not just because I think he's dreamy and I'm dating him, but he's just quite like, the way that Thomas interpreted the character was kind of like Joker-esque. You know, it's quite like, he's very unpredictable and quite off-putting, and those are the best characters to play. Oh, it's the best. We never get annoyed with each other. That's the annoying thing about us. I can recognize from the outside how probably annoying we are. We're like the most stable, the most healthy, the most sappy, in love, like all over each other, connected people. And so when he's with me on set, it's just great. It's like I'm not on set and then being like, how's my boyfriend? Like, what's happening? And he's not like, because whenever we're not together, we're quite like connected, that like when we're not together, it's quite like my brain's wherever he is. I'm like here, but I'm also wherever he is, being like, oh, I hope he's doing this. I hope that this is happening for him. And I hope he's feeling this way. And you know, it's nice to be together because we just kind of have that mind meld psychic thing. He always does period stuff. Like, he just got done doing Catherine the Great. I don't know, I feel like I would love to do like a Suicide Squad-esque kind of thing. I always want to play a villain. And he always gets cast as the villain. He's like this sweet little chocolate chip, but he's always cast as the villain. It makes me laugh. Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like a lot of them have been done recently, but I mean, I would love to play Gwen Stacy. I love to play concept-y people. I love to play, you know, very like, I mean, I love to do subdued stuff as well, but like clearly I love to play very like heightened roles. I would love to play like a sort of Olivia Wilde in Tron, or sort of like a, I just said this, but like Ex Machina, or yeah, I mean Gwen Stacy, or like a Marvel villain, I think. If they did Tangled, I would love to play Rapunzel, just because I think that she's quite quirky. She's got like quite a lot of like weird facety things about her. I would love to be involved in anything like that, because I love musical stuff. I love Disney, obviously, have like a really close relationship with the company, and I love action and anything heightened. Alice in Wonderland? Wouldn't that be good? I feel like that'd be really good, because you could have like really like psychedelic kind of aspects to it, and you could get the Red Queen going as a villainess, and you have quite like a lot of opportunity for like reality bend. We are onto something here. We're copywriting this. The franchise itself is such a love letter to the misfit, you know? It's such a love letter to the underdog or the outsider, which is very funny, you know, as somebody who's like sitting here with like long purple hair and like my makeup's all done and I'm like, the outsider. But like truly, I think everybody feels like an outsider. There have definitely been times in my life, well, my whole life, I felt like an outsider. My whole life, I felt like a loner or like somebody really different. Like I think, you know, in middle school, I literally had 0 friends. Like in high school, I probably had 1 friend. And so I think that anybody can really relate to the themes of Descendants. And I love seeing, my favorite thing ever is when a parent has a Twitter and they're like, I created a Twitter just to post this. This is my little girl. You know, we live in like Arkansas, or we live in, you know, rural, you know, London. We live in, you know, Iceland. Like people send me stuff from all over the world. We live in Mexico. We live like everywhere. And they send me pictures of their little girl with like spray painted hair, like being like, because I remember when I was a kid, I was not a princess. I was a monster. Like all I wanted to wear was like beast feet, and I wanted to have tattoos, and I was like, I am a scary monster, and I wanted to feel recognized. And I think Mal is like such a creature. She's such a good role model for young girls to feel represented as not like this sort of like feminine archetype. She's quite beastly.